Hi, Dee. I made the drive-in movie. There it is. Kind of close to it at the moment. But I've had 2 wood knocks and a stick thrown at me so far while I was setting this up. I'm in the woods behind my house, right next to the bent tree.
Dude, what the hell is that?
Because it's the biggest place I could find to set it up so they could see it from a distance and hear it. So I'm trying to get everything set up and make it everything far enough away when all the activity started to happen. So I'm waving you all around because I'm trying to get the phone set up. Get the light attached to it. Like that. There we go.
I'm not gonna miss you, Skeeters.
Kyle, look! Look, I made Dee bigger. If I move her back a little bit, I can even make her bigger than that. There, look. Just for you. You can hear her better and everything. I'll get away from the screen so you can see it. There you go, Dee. A 6-foot wide drive-in movie of you. On the sheet in the middle of the woods. I bet you never thought that was going to happen, huh? Anyway, this is on Wi-Fi, so I can get a good distance away, I think, from it. And I can even show you back to where it is. There you are. Big. Said again because I'm not sure what I'm saying, and I've already heard things back here, but I want to go off to the side so they can get close to the screen without me standing right there. So I'm going to go off to the side and maybe out in front of the screen because I'm sure I can see it from the other side. There you go, Kyle. Now you can watch Dee. The first thing they did was throw a stick at me. And it wasn't, I can't say at me because it was 20 yards away, but it was quite a good sized stick. And I have the phone actually on low light at the moment. I ran one of your videos. In fact, I ran 2 of your videos off of this. And here you are on the other side of the sheet in mirror reverse. The bright thing you're seeing is the actual projector on the other side of the sheet, but you can actually watch the movie from either side. Kyle! Come watch the movie! I got a movie just for you! Come and watch Dee! I set it up like that because the wood knocks I heard were on the side of where the projector is. Kyle! I made a little short video, and I'm not sure I sent it to you. I'll have to look, but I made a little short video where I showed you the thing I got from Walmart, which is the tripod I got from Walmart, and how I had the light and the phone both hooked right up to on top of that tripod. But if you wiggle it, the whole thing wiggles because there's so much weight up on top where it's not very sturdy. Right now I'm holding on to that rig that's on top, so the phone is on top of the light and I'm holding on to the actual phone holder. But that's why I hooked the light straight to the neck of the tripod that I sent you, so that the phone could be sturdy up on top. And this is kind of good because I can hear you're running way over there, and I could probably get twice this far away and still not like they can read, I guess. I didn't want to send your most or play your most recent video because that didn't have any tall men in it. That was scary, and I don't want to call anything like that in here. So, not that it's not already here, but I don't need it to show up for sure. Kyle! Whoop! Every time I do that, you go whoop. But here's the woods behind my house. You can tell because it's got all of these little sticks that I've shown over and over again. It's got all these little sticks stuck in the trees and up against the trees, like they bring their babies in here, because that one's not hooked to the ground, but it's up inside all of these. And there's just hundreds and hundreds of these things, if not thousands, of these small sticks leaned against everything in here. There's another one. Got my hand in here. There's another one right there. So there's a ton of things leaned against in this little piece of woods here. But I'm way back, and it's September. It's right around the same time of the year that I noticed that bent pine tree the first time last year. So it's pretty much a year to the month anyway of when I know that happened. So I'm pretty sure that they were here this time last year. So if they do migrate around a little bit, then at least I know they were here this time last year. I don't remember seeing that stick that's leaned right there. I don't remember seeing that stick before. And those are bigger. See how they're like, that one's 6 or 6.5 feet long. They started out as tiny little sticks, and then midsummer they got to be like this little skinny stick here. They got to be like that long and that skinny, but now the baby Bigfoots are putting bigger ones up here. So I don't know if they brought older ones in here or if baby Bigfoots grow up really fast. But the size of the sticks that are all leaned in here is amazing. Now this one's busted off but leaned, and that's a pretty good sized stick, like a juvenile would do. That's a little tree. I mean, that obviously could have happened But if it broke off like that, if you look up, if it broke off, way at the bottom like that, it doesn't seem like it would go towards that tree because of all this other stuff that was taller than it. It seems like it wouldn't be shoved down like that, but I just heard this is actually out towards the road here in that direction. I need to out in that direction. When I put my hand in front of there, it blurs it out. But there was just a wood knock out towards the road, and the road's only 100 yards in that direction. So I'll go ahead and a leaf just fell. That kind of startled me for a second. Are you watching, D? Kyle! Now I have no fear in these woods at all. I really don't have any fear per se, but in the other places I've got far more anxiety, I guess. It's not really fear, it's just the other woods I don't trust because they're all the big trees, the big trees that are moved around in there, and some of them look like they're pretty angry type of thing where they were upset and throwing shit around. I probably don't need... That was just 2 wood knocks. Not very far away. Faint because it was closer. I think they just tapped. Kyle! Did you hear that? That could have been an acorn because there are acorns in that tree right there. That one right there. That could have been an acorn, but it sounded like a stick that or something that hit a couple of trees before it actually got to where it is. But it was only tossed, not like chucked hard. Maybe they're telling me to shut the light off. Kyle! But your sheet's over there, just playing just fine over there. The only problem with this is I'm not hooked directly to any kind of Wi-Fi. The projector itself is a smart projector, and it plays these ads. I'm sorry about the ads. They only last like 10 seconds. The projector plays the ads. Oof, this thing is hard to hold on to from just the back like that. I gotta find a different position. But I only have my light on the lowest setting at the moment, because I know that I have 31 subscribers. Can you believe it? But most of my videos only have between like 3 and 7 views. But I have one of the little short ones, which was on 820, the 820i one. I'm not sure exactly where that is, but it's got 3.2 thousand clicks on it. Can you believe it? I don't know where it is, but it must be in some place that's pretty popular, and people keep clicking on it, and it caused 30 people to hit subscribe, but they did not go through and actually watch all my other videos. I'm not sure why they hit subscribe like that, but they did. And you can see I'm about 40 yards from the projector at the moment. Out in front of it. I'm going to walk off the trail, Kyle. I'm going to walk over here because I see a stick I didn't see before. You remember I told you that there were mostly smaller sticks in here, but this one's only 4 feet tall, but it's much bigger around. Leaned right up against that tree with another small one, which was probably there first. And another 2 small ones leaned in the crotch, and all these leaned in the crotch. These bigger ones were not here. That big one there and that bigger one right there was not here the last time I came through here. And I looked pretty hard. That one right there, that crotched one right there, that's leaned against that pine tree like that. That did not come from this. Didn't come from anywhere above. So that one was placed. Is there an actual dead one up here? Anything dead up there? Yeah, I guess this one right here is actually a dead tree. And that could have came from further up that I can see. But this, it's not that dead. But this forked one right here is actually stuck in the ground. Not that it couldn't have fell like that. Oh, you just made a noise. It sounded like a dog. Yeah. It could have fell like that, but it doesn't seem like there's anything above it to make it fall like that. And I'm just seeing, like right there, see that leaned up? These are much bigger sticks than what were out here all summer so far. These, where I'm standing right now, is like Mama Sasquatch or an older juvenile Sasquatch. Well, the older Kyles in any case. It looks like the Kyles were bigger that did all this. This wasn't the babies that were here this in the early spring. But when I come over and point at these things, I know that they know that I know that they're out here. There's no way when I come out here and investigate new things that they do that they must see me doing it. There's another one. Way bigger than what was out here before. Not big by any means. I mean, that thing's only like 8 feet tall, but when it first started, the ones that were leaned against the trees that I noticed were little tiny sticks, like this one here, leaned up like that. They were just little tiny sticks when I first noticed them, and now they've decided to put much bigger ones up. Look at first, like that one right there. You can see it. Much smaller, but that was in the beginning of summer. All these other bigger ones. All these other bigger ones are very recent. They seem to get bigger and bigger as the summer progresses and it's starting to get into fall. I don't know if Mommy got bored and put that one there, but... Okay, I'm going back over to the trail. I know I walked off the trail. I'm sorry. I wanted to get far enough away so that you could watch D. Do you like your movies? I don't know why I'm asking if they like the movie, like they know what a freaking movie is, but... Okay, I'm back on the trail, see? Whoa, did you hear that? That was right close to me, right there somewhere. I'm back on the trail. It's okay. I'm not going to do anything. Did you hear it again? There's movement right there. And that was a loud knock. And then movement right there. I'm not going to go towards them. Right there. Go over there and watch D on the movie. I brought you a movie. And I know the doubting Thomases will be like, why didn't you run right over there where the wood knock was? If I do that, I might scare them away, and they may never, when they hear me, more movement, they may never come back. I got a movie playing. Well, D, playing your movie definitely has got me more motion and more wood knocks and more everything that I've ever gotten before. Kyle! If you come over here and let me see you, I'll go back home and you won't have to worry. I won't come out here anymore. Not at nighttime. I'll walk during the daytime, but I won't come out at night anymore if you let me see you. Go ahead and watch your movie. I tested the not only the projector but the battery pack that does AC that I bought off of Amazon. I tested that today, and I ran 2 hour-and-a-half videos back to back, and it only got down to 11%, so I should have no problem at all running just the one video. In fact, this video is only 36 minutes. And when the 36 minutes goes by, I'll just keep going, and that's when I'll be able to actually walk around my whole path out here. So I'll do an investigation, and I'll walk around the path after this video, because it's dependent on my actual Wi-Fi. And I'm holding the phone up close to my face, kind of, because I have the phone and the light hooked together without the tripod. I'm holding one hand, and it just happens it's right close to my mouth, so I don't want to yell too loud. And I move the camera away from my mouth when I do things like yell for Kylo and stuff. Kyle! Whoop whoop! Woohoo! Kyle, say whoop! Look, I brought D on a video. Even though it's a commercial at the moment. When I watch your videos on my phone and on my tablet, the actual phone and tablet themselves have the YouTube app right on it. This has a YouTube app, but it has an app that has the things set right into it so that it plays them commercials. I'm guessing about every 10 minutes for 10 or 15 seconds. Kyle! Woohoo! That was a stick or an acorn that just fell behind me. Are you still over here, buddy? I can't get too far away from that projector. I'm a good almost 50 yards from it and it's still playing. The Wi-Fi off my phone must run pretty far for that thing. Because it's not an expensive projector. It said it was portable, that's why I bought it. But it required, when I got it, I could see that it had you have to plug it into the wall is what I want to say. See, I've showed you this before in other videos, but that right there, starting off with these, in the beginning of summer, it started off with those tiny little sticks, and now they keep adding to it, and the sticks are getting bigger and bigger. You see that? Throughout the summer, they just keep more and more, putting more and more sticks there. I broke that one off. And there's another one too that's over here someplace. That's very, very intricate how they set this one up. This one has them like where they're using the friction of them bent against other things to hold them in shapes. Except for that one's leaned. And then there's another one. There's another one right here. See how they're in between and in the crotches of each other and stuff? But when they started off, they were just tiny little stick structures. I'm trying to find one that's still up. But they were like just a foot or two tall. They were very, very small. Kyle! I'm going to come out on this path here. Okay? Now right over there is the big trees and the swamp. And in those big hemlock trees, there's nothing at all leaned against those hemlock trees, those bigger trees. It's all out here. This used to be a three-wheeler trail back when they had three-wheelers and not four-wheelers a long time ago, and before that it was a Jeep trail when this was an ammunition factory, and they would drive the Jeeps down through here over to my house because that was a staging area for the ammunition before they put the ammunition on the train, and where the train tracks are, where I was before the train tracks. Like there's There's one of them tiny little sticks. And there's another one of those tiny little sticks. That's how it was at first. Just a whole bunch of those tiny little sticks. And I'm a good ways. I mean, you can see yourself playing over there. I'm 35, almost 40 yards from that thing right now. And I said in my other videos, my walk around videos, where you said straight ahead and off to the left of where I had that other big birch, and these are the brown paper birch that I said were in the back. There's a bigger one. There's 3 right here, but there is a really big hefty one right here somewhere. I can't remember where it is. But see, there's 4 or 5 of them right there, a cluster and a single and a little one behind it. And there's one great big one. I think it's just back that way a little bit. I can't get that far. I can't get that far away from the projector at the moment. And it's beautiful out. I have a hoodie on. The bugs aren't bothering me. Kyle! But Kyle hasn't thrown a stick, knocked, broke a stick. Very close to me and pretty loud. If you look way down there, I don't know if you zoom in, there's one of those tacks down there. That's not an eyeball. And that swamp, that beaver swamp, is like completely full of water, so not that they bother, they don't care about walking through water probably, but they don't necessarily have to. But in the swamp where I was just pointing, over that way across the swamp is that hollow tree. And I'll tell you, if I hear something like I heard last night when I was doing my fire, I heard an owl. It sounded like an owl, hoo 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 hoo, like that. And then about 30 seconds later, it was part owl and part crow. It was like caw, 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 hoo, 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 caw, caw, like that. And it was very fake. But it did it for like 10 seconds straight, making that noise like instead of going hoo, 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 it would go caw, caw, hoo, hoo, caw, caw, like that. But it would make the same cadence, but it would make these weird different sounds. And then about 5 minutes later, over on the other side, not across the swamp where I heard it the first time, over by the hollow burned out tree, but back behind my neighbor's house, on the other side of my neighbor's house from my fire pit where I was sitting, it did exactly the same thing, but like in a small dog bark. It was like woof, 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 hoo, 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 woof, woof, like that. It was very, very unsettling sound that thing made. I hope I don't hear that shit when I'm out here tonight, because that raised my hackles. I actually turned on my phone to describe the sound. And I was going to send you the video if it did it again and made the noise so that I could hear it, but it didn't make the noise again. Kyle! Come on, buddy. Or girl. Okay. You're actually showing the circled things. So your 36-minute video is over with. And I haven't heard anything recently, but I definitely, when I was setting this thing up and at first when I heard that knock, there was a lot of things going on. So I'm going to shut this off. Let's see. There you are. Do 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 do. 4 feet tall and 6 feet wide. Bigfoot drive-in movie. Starring Dee's Dark Adventure with Dee. I try to play the ones where you're actually going out and looking and finding Kyle evidence and not paranormal stuff. So I don't need that stuff coming around me in the dark when I'm looking for other stuff. I just want to see Kyle. I've already proved to myself that ghosts and such exist. And like we were talking about in the emails, the other things that aren't human spirits, and the other nasty things, and the very powerful things, like the elementals, they're very hard to get rid of, and the elementals you actually have to apologize to them and kind of make friends with them, because there's no other way. You can't kick them out of your house. You can't do anything except for try to reason with them. And if they're pissed off, and they can mess with your life big time. Everything from having bad luck to Let's see. Look at that. Look at that right there. That is behind that tree, bent behind that tree, going between those trees and out on the other side of those trees. That's impossible to fall like that. And that was not here. That was not here the last time I came out. Plus, that one right there is a fresh break. See that fresh break right there? And now, there's a stick. See that other stick? See that other stick that's put where that fresh break is? And that one's wound inside of that one. And try to see what else has happened right here. There's a bent one. Maybe this, I don't know. Where the heck was I in a minute ago? This might have been what they just did. This might have just now happened. You see that fresh break right there? That fresh break and that stick right there. And this is dead but bent down. That might have been the fresh break that it just happened. Right there. I'll have to zoom in, but I see eye shine right next to the ground. Right there. See that eye shine right there? That is green or gold colored. Kyle, are you over there? Kyle! That is super bright, but I only see one eye. Nope, I just saw two eyes, or it's something split. I'm seeing two eyes. Am I seeing two eyes? I can't tell if I'm seeing two eyes or if I'm seeing one, multiple eyes, like 3 or 4 eyes, but I'm only seeing two because there's little trees in the way. Oop, that was just thrown. Did you hear that? That was a stick thrown. Kyle! Oh, it's moving. Here I come! Deer. That was a deer. I hope. Yeah, that was a deer laying down. That was a deer laying down. But this stick right here in front of me, across my path, with another stick on top of it, I think is just what I heard the tree snap. And do you think that they're like invisible to deer? Everybody always tells me, oh, they hunt deer. You know, when you look online and stuff, and even you've said when they're hunting the deer, I'm not convinced that they do that. Because I just had some pretty good evidence here just a few minutes ago, and that was a deer laying on the ground probably another 50 yards away from where they just pushed this tree over. Sorry, Kyle, but I gotta move this tree. Don't get mad. You can't put things in my way. Unless you put a big, big tree in there, I'm gonna move it. Because this is my path. This is for me. Alright. Continue on. And unzoom you. I'm reasonably sure I did not actually see that deer, but I saw the side of it, and the way it ran away was a jumpity jump 4-leg type of deer running away. It didn't huff at me, and it was definitely laying down, but deer don't normally stay in the woods at nighttime. But that deer, where the piss am I? Why am I walking here? These are like morel mushrooms, maybe? They almost look like little heads of broccoli. I just heard an owl. I'll turn my light on here for a second. Okay, I'm not off my path. I'm just in the big wide part. But that deer, or whatever that was laying right down in here somewhere. So I'm going to attempt to turn this light up a clicky. Because there's whatever that deer sound is, or whatever that hooter sound is just going woo! And I haven't heard owls around here that just do one whoo. Usually when they do that, they sound really angry, like whoo, like that, just once. And this was just going whoo. Kyle! Not that it can't, certainly not that it can't be an owl, but I haven't heard. That's a great big oak tree over there. It's like 3 feet wide at the base, maybe 3.5 feet wide at the base. I tend to look at that before I walk over there underneath it, because I walk right next to it on my path. But that deer was just laying right here somewhere, and I guess it is actually open enough for a deer to use this for a bedding place. Right here anyway, because it's pretty open. You can see it's pretty open right here. All right, turn that light off. I now have my light on medium. But when you turn it on high, it always goes back to medium anyway, so it only stays on high for a certain period of time. That right there is a stick structure where a stick came up. Looks like it was growing there, but they broke it in half and then leaned another tree against it to make a stick structure. Right there, and if you look, nope, they didn't do that. That is an actual cut from a saw a long time ago, but they leaned another stick against that one. And this is what happened in the beginning. This is the little tiny structures that first happened in the beginning of summer. I'm getting back on my path. Okay, here. I don't know if you remember, I've shown you this. It looks like an X from right here, but mostly from the path, because this is the spur of the path that goes out to the road that I made. But since then, they've leaned all these other little things underneath it. More things that they leaned right here. A good size one right here. But right here where I'm standing right now, was that there was a stick straight down and one at a 45-degree angle, and then one across the ground that made a perfect right angle. It made a perfect right angle right there. And that was right in the middle of my path. And eventually it fell down. But since then they've leaned that stick here. They put all these little sticks here. These two were already leaned here like that. But now I've just found this one, which you can tell by the end that stick has been broken off from wherever it's been broken off from for at least a year, by the way it looks. But it's across that path. It's right across that path that goes out to the road. And I showed you this over here where it looked like one of the bigger ones, like mommy started one and let the babies try to fill it in. Remember, I showed you this and this over here where it looked like a failed one. Oh, they added more sticks to it. They just added that stick right there and that stick right there. But all these little ones that were here, them little tiny ones that looked like they were trying to teach a baby one, but now there's bigger, longer sticks leaned up against it. So I'm guessing that the babies are growing up and they grow quite fast. I have to move more sticks, Kyle. You can't trip me at nighttime. Don't put stuff in my path. Oh, there's actually two sticks in the path. You know I'm going to move your sticks. So don't put them in the path. I'll trip over them. There. See? It's okay. I'm not mad. I'm not mad at all. You just gotta be nice. This one's my path. I have to walk on the path. And they're not great big things. It's not like a 15-foot tall. Oh, there's been people back here too. Because there's now somebody put bottle tops as markers in here with thumbtacks. Probably for bow hunting. And you can see up there that they have put tacks. One right there, one over a little bit right there. They put tacks to show them where they're putting their tree stand or whatever. But this is that really big oak tree. I tend to look up in that with the flashlight before it because I gotta walk right underneath it. Alright. Continue around the path. Anybody out? Kyle! Kyle! And that's the Jeep path that goes that way. But I follow the Jeep path out towards my house. Out in this direction. And you see right there, that was the beginning of the summer where they finally got to be about 3 feet tall. The little stick structures. But this is right here is like what I kept seeing. Little tiny ones. Little tiny ones leaned against the trees. When it first started to happen, they were just tiny little sticks. And out in this direction, this spur over here goes out towards a house that's around the corner from me. And there's still a little bit of stuff in there, but nothing like there is back there behind where the projector is. There's a lot of stuff right where that projector is. But look at that tree right there. Look how many things and how intricate and beautiful they gave this tree a skirt. And they just keep adding to it, bigger and bigger and bigger. I can back off from it a little bit. All across the face of that tree, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There's at least 7 sticks that are big end up leaned against that tree right there. Very pretty. You did a very good job right there. I'm impressed. I don't know if I could do that. There's another leaning stick, another leaning stick. But this stuff right here, I think, I showed a million times, but them tiny little sticks are what I first noticed in the very first part of summer. And I keep calling this a nursery because it's just little sticks everywhere. But I want to get out to, boy, I see things with the light that I don't see during the daytime. I don't know if it's because I can only just see so far and my brain can actually, is that a golf ball? Nope. Puff mushroom. Maybe it's just because I can only see a little ways, so my brain doesn't have so many things to focus on. But here, this is the absolute perfect example of what I saw in the beginning of summer. Look how many little sticks right there, and they're only like a foot, maximum of 2 feet long. So many little sticks, like a little Sasquatch just ran around grabbing little sticks and making a pile of them right there for no reason that a human could figure out. It's like Mommy told him to sit there and he got bored. And he just started making a pile. One of my other videos, I also pointed out that right here they keep leaving bones. And if you remember, this is the spot, right? Yeah, this is the spot. There's that, no, this spot's up here. The turkeys made this much bigger right here as they dust themselves. Oh, there's a frog. I said again. I'm trying not to do that. So right here is the spot where the turkeys do a lot. But if you remember the video where I put these, and I was afraid to make a cross because of the people on YouTube might say something, but I stacked those. They're no longer stacked. They unstacked them and made another shape out of it, if it's a shape, or they just moved it. But I had the two straight ones parallel and that one on top of it. And it doesn't look like anything gnawed on them. They just moved. They just moved them. But random bones show up here for no reason that I can think of. There's a path that goes out underneath that, and it looks like a path that goes out that way. But I'm right on the corner of the Jeep path where it turns the corner and goes over here towards my house. It's like I said, they used to drive the Jeeps down this path to check on my property, because my property was filled in. It used to be swamp, but they filled it in to make a staging area out of it. And there's another, I've showed that one before, where they could stand right there in that crotch right there, and they put enough sticks around it to break themselves up, almost like they were going to hunt. But I haven't seen any less deer around, or anything like that shows that they're hunting deer. And there's a lot of rabbits and squirrels around, because the foxes only come and make dens around here about every 3 years. Kyle! I guess without actually seeing a coyote. Oops, I was going to show you this. That's why I walked out here. Look, they left me a pretty. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? I mean, only D, I think only you are going to really actually see how they put that thing up there. And I think they did it just for me. They made a pretty up there just for me. I just heard a voice. It kind of sounded like a whoop, but it was like somebody said whoop, like that. It was right there somewhere. Whoop whoop. You talking? You talking to me? I have to go back this way. I was just going to walk all the way around, and this thing's already 58 minutes, so it's going to end up in 2 pieces, and I'm going to have to flip them together. That's okay. I learned how to do that because I'm not so old that I can't use a computer. I'm only 60. I'm coming back to get my projector and stuff. I'm not going to leave it out there. And that's another thing I wanted to talk to you about, Dee. And I said not because I don't know what I say. I just don't know how I want to say it. I don't want to upset you, but when you notice trash in the woods, especially if you point at it and then leave it there, or that bottle that you recently grabbed, which was either Peel's Real Draft or, it was definitely a beer bottle from way back when. You picked it up, looked at it, and then set it back down by that tree. That right there can piss off an elemental like no tomorrow. If you find human trash in the woods, make a big production of how much you hate when that happens, and then pick it up and put it in your pocket. And then you tell all the woodlings that whenever you find trash, you're going to pick it up from now on, and that you're sorry you left it. Several times in your videos now, I've seen where you have pointed out human trash and then left it there. It doesn't upset me as much as it's going to upset elementals, possibly Kyle. But it will definitely show that you are more of a friend to everything out here if you pick up all the garbage. Because when I first got here, look what it said in my email, when I first got here and I started doing construction on my plot of land to put my house there, I started to have really bad luck and really bad health. Everything was going wrong. I kept feeling sick all the time. I always felt drained. And then I watched a show online that had a Native American shaman come and try to make offerings to the wood spirits to help a couple that just moved into their house. And that's where I got the idea that you should put tobacco and like strawberry plant seeds and flowering plant seeds that are kind of native to what's around. Native type of wildflower seeds. Put them all together and sprinkle them out and talk to the woodlings and tell them you're sorry for trespassing if you are, that you'll pick up the garbage from now on, and all of that happiness. And that's what I did. I came out here and there was a bunch of beer cans and a great big 55-gallon metal drum that was actually on the other side of that tree right there that they were using for a burn barrel when they camped long time ago. But I came out here and I actually picked all the trash up. An old TV somebody threw out here. And since then, it does not feel dark back here anymore. All my problems went away. All my health problems went away. And it seems like the elementals actually try to help me take care of the land now. And may have even, like I showed you in the picture of the icon on my page, that the elemental may have actually been trying to warn me that there were dogmen around. It feels very still back here. The rest of the path, it doesn't, but as soon as I get to the end of my path back here where that bent tree is, it just feels still, like you're being watched, but not in a bad way. They're just waiting for me to leave. That's what it feels like, is they're waiting for me to leave. Okay, Kyle. I'm going to pick my projector up and pick all this stuff up, okay? Like I said, I don't have my tripod out here. Let me give you one slow look around with the bright light. Maybe you'll see something my eyes can't. Maybe I'll see something that I haven't seen yet. Kyle! Whoop! Okay. I'm going to unhook my sheet and pack all my stuff back up. And there's the end of the night. I actually got quite a bit of things happen. Stick thrown at me, wood knocks, a very close wood knock over there on the other side, which may have been them pushing that tree over. That may or may not have been a deer. In my mind it was a deer because it sounded like one when it left. And it kind of looked like the side of one when it stood up. So there you go. That was me showing Dee's Dark Adventure to Bigfoot in drive-in movie style. And I will do this again in different places and see if I get as much activity as I did this time. So you have a very good night, Dee. And hopefully your investigations will not keep turning out with other things other than the tall men. We want to see you not be quite so scared, and we don't want the tall men to be angry about you going in the woods anymore. We just got to kind of do something to make them happy. All right. Have a good night.